Welcome, everyone. Today we're doing a deep dive into, well, a whole bunch of curious facts about Ireland.
Yeah, some really interesting tidbits here.
Exactly. So our mission, really, is to pull out the most surprising, maybe lesser-known things about the Emerald Isle. Think of it as a quick, insightful tour.
Okay, sounds good. Where should we start? Maybe, the snakes? The St. Patrick's story is always a big one.
Right, the famous legend, everyone knows it, St. Patrick driving the snakes out.
But the interesting thing is, from a scientific point of view, well, Ireland likely never had snakes to begin with.
Really? So it wasn't St. Patrick then?
Probably not in a literal sense, no. The climate after the Ice Age and its isolation as an island just meant they couldn't naturally migrate or survive there.
Huh. So the legend is maybe more metaphorical.
Could be, yeah. It's fascinating how legends take hold. Now, speaking of things that are uniquely Irish, how about place names?
Oh, you mean like, I'm going to try this. Mucana Header Doholia.
Slight chuckle, that's the one. In County Galway, it holds the record, apparently, for the longest place name in Ireland.
It definitely gives you a feel for the language, Gailge.
Yeah.
Very distinctive.
It really does. And that history runs deep. Think about Sean's Bar in Athlone.
Oh, yes, the pub. Established way back in 900 AD.
900. It's officially listed in the Guinness World Records as Europe's oldest pub.
Imagine the history soaked into those walls. Centuries of people gathering. It says a lot about Irish social culture, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. A real tradition of community. And, that Irish influence, it stretches way beyond the island itself.
You mean the diaspora? The numbers are pretty staggering.
Yeah, something like 70 million people around the world claim Irish ancestry. Compare that to, about 5 million living in Ireland today?
It's incredible. That global footprint is massive.
It really is. And you can see that history literally built into the landscape, too. The castles.
Oh, right. The island of castles. There are just so many.
Over 30,000, apparently. Castles and ruins.
30,000. That works out to roughly one castle for every 160-something people. That's amazing.
Gives you a sense of a very long and often turbulent history etched in stone. Makes you wonder about the stories,
Definitely. And speaking of symbols and history, St. Patrick again, his color.
Ah, yes. Everyone thinks green.
Instantly. Shamrocks green everywhere on St. Patrick's Day.
But originally, his associated color was actually blue. St. Patrick Blue, it was called.
Blue. Wow, okay, that's unexpected. So how did green take over?
Well, it likely evolved over time, tied up with nationalist movements, the Emerald Isle itself, the shamrock symbol. It sort of overtook the blue.
Makes sense. And while we're on cultural exports, Halloween.
Oh, absolutely. Its origins go right back to Ireland, to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain.
So trick-or-treating, costumes, all that stuff we do now has roots deep in Irish history.
Pretty much, yeah. A direct line. And thinking about modern Irish icons, Guinness has to be up there.
For sure. Isn't the Guinness Storehouse in Dublin like the top tourist spot?
It is, yeah. Ireland's most visited tourist attraction. Shows the cultural pull of that particular pint, doesn't it?
It really does. Now, from something huge like Guinness to something tiny, there's that church, right?
Ah, St. Govan's Church. On Inishere, one of the Aran Islands.
Yeah, supposedly one of the smallest churches in the world.
It's incredibly small, yeah. Only holds maybe a handful of people. It's quite charming, a real contrast.
That definitely highlights the diversity of places. And what about the Irish language itself? Gaelge?
Right, it's an official language, constitutionally recognized.
But the figures suggest, that not many people use it daily outside of school, right?
That's generally true, yes.
Yep.
It's a complex situation. History plays a big part, historical suppression, plus modern pressures. But there are definitely strong efforts to revitalize it.
Good to hear. Okay, one last one, maybe a bit more lighthearted. Ireland's famous for rain.
Chuckles. It does get its fair share, yes.
But the upside?
Rainbows. Lots and lots of rainbows because of all that moisture in the air.
Which naturally makes you think of
the pot of gold legend. You can't help it. A nice bit of folklore tied to the weather.
Exactly. So quite a mix there. From geology and ancient history to language and even beer.
It really shows how many layers there are to Ireland, doesn't it? So many surprising little details.
It certainly does. Makes you think, with all these curious facts we've just touched on, what other unexpected stories does the Emerald Isle still have waiting to be uncovered?